Hi there, we are in part 3 now. I was speaking about creationism and helping atheists understand why it is that believing nothing happens when we die is, especially if you are a scientist, bereft of reconciling in and of yourself how some facets of matter within us just cease to exist when scientifically we know that no energy ever really truly goes anywhere. Now, the breath of God, okay, I was talking about that, but I was also speaking about witchcraft and how it is that people end up getting motivated to go out like that. And I was telling you a story about a guy that I used to work with at my former organization that did this, that consulted with, dark arts because he was desperate for a job. Anyway, and I was also speaking about how the devil is not a creator, God is, and how God is the only one that can create ex nihilo. Ex nihilo meaning for creating something out of absolutely zero, nada. For he is the very beginning of all things. He is God. He has no beginning in and of himself. Okay, so going back then to the point of how it is that God breathed into Adam and he became a living soul. In Ecclesiastes, what it is that who wrote Ecclesiastes? I stand corrected, is it Solomon? What he's alluding to is that it's a total mystery how a baby, we can understand how the biological process of bringing a semen with an egg together to create a zygote is possible. We can understand it even biologically, if at all you've studied within the medical sciences how a baby is formed. You can put 2 and 2 together, 1 plus 1, and understand how that happens. But it is an absolute mystery how that baby eventually becomes this thriving individual with a unique personality, like a ball of energy just rolling around. What is the breath of life in this child? God breathes into human beings and they become living souls. That personality, that consciousness, basically, that is the miracle. That is the reason why atheists shouldn't just leave it at the fact that you gotta see it to believe it. Well, where did all that energy come from? Where did it all come from? The miracle of God is in the fact that it's not just a heartbeat that makes a person alive, but a consciousness, and that is something that science for the life of us cannot explain. And that's why the Big Bang Theory is a folly. Okay, moving on. So the Lord is the one, obviously, then that is the creator of that breath of life, for he is a conscious being that therefore makes us conscious. We are able to have a personality and be known as Ukarabo, who is this particular way, and you recognize her and remember her from the time you were young all the way up until you were old. The two of y'all, if you grew up next to each other, it's Karabo. If I were to be indwelt by somebody else's personality or spirit, you would tell that something's wrong. We have a unique identity, that, like a barcode, if you want to call it that identifies exactly Karabo versus your twin sister, if you have one, that looks exactly like you genetically, but again, living soul, completely different personality, all together. Right, now that we have put that out there, let us just highlight then that if at all you have been created, there is an absolute impossibility for you to create anything ex nihilo. If you want to create as a human being, you have to go and grab something that already exists and make something out of it. Pretty much what God did with Eve, where he grabbed an existing human being and made another one using a rib. So if you want to make a beautiful painting, create a beautiful painting, you have to buy paint, you have to buy a paintbrush, you have to buy a canvas, you have got to then innovate in your mind what you're going to paint on there, and then out comes this beautiful work of art that you have produced. It is indeed your original excellent idea, but it has been manufactured by a combination of things that already existed. The ideas in your brain were from a mind that was given you by a God. The paint was from a builder's warehouse, so too was the paintbrush, so too was the canvas and the canvas stand. I could go on. So your artwork is your creation, but it is not ex nihilo. You are a creation, just like the devil is also a creation, just like entities that were the Nephilim spirits, disembodied spirits of the Nephilim, created using the seed of man and the seed of woman. No, not seed of man, sorry, but the seed of human man and the seed of fallen angels. So they exist, these demons, because they were created ex nihilo. They are a thwarting, a warping, a perversion of God's original creation, and so that's why they're kind of hovering around, demonizing everything all over the show, and are not able to go to heaven because there's no place for them. God did not create them. The devil created them using the existing angelic genome and the human genome, and so there's no no place for them, for that is not God's original creation. That's why you need to be very careful with any genetic mutation types technology that's roaming around in these streets, MNRA and all of these things. Just be careful. If anything just speaks about genetic manipulation, be careful of it. Transhumanism, be careful of it. But that's a discussion for another day. Okay, moving on right ahead. So Satan then cannot create, guys, ex nihilo, meaning that if the guy is going to be giving you lots of money, if the guy is going to be giving you a job, if the guy is going to be giving you a baby in your stomach, if the guy is going to be clearing your skin, whatever it is that you consult these various sangomas for, there's no end as to what people will try and use supernatural means to fix whatever in their lives. It's coming from somewhere. The devil cannot manufacture out of the blue nothing. So for those reasons, one must always ask themselves when they consult amasangoma, when they consult spiritists, mediums, and all those people, you must always ask yourself, out of what has this batter of dough been produced? Where does this job come from? Where does this baby come from? Where does this ABC, I could go on, ipumagupi, guys? It's energy stolen from somewhere. So if you're going to be getting a job using dagazi sangoma, those of you who think that it is innocent, you are not bewitching your friend, you are not bewitching your cousin, you are not bewitching your baby, you are just asking for a job. And it's easy. Those who try to justify consulting amasangoma, dingaka, they like to say these sangomas, ngakas, whatever, I don't care about the ranks, okay, what you call the one or the other. My study is in Christ, not in demonology or whatever. So let's just stick to the basics. Dingaka di sangoma zena. There are a lot of them who rock up, and I mean, I'm actually alluding right now to those batwasitsing in the entertainment industry, because they don't want to be viewed, since they are public figures, they don't want to be viewed as evil. They don't want to be viewed as Boloyi. They want to be seen as traditional healers, whatever under heaven that even means. Okay, well, they want to be called that precisely because there are apparently facets of sorcery that are pure or clean or whatever, that don't harm other people. So when you go to a sangoma to ask for a job, you just want a job. Who doesn't want to work, you know? It's nothing. It's not like I'm bewitching my best friend that she might fall to the ground splat and never come up for air again. And some sangomas say, I don't help people steal futures. I don't help people destroy lives. I just help people that are struggling with ailments in their bodies, with falling pregnant. I just help people get jobs. I just help people reconnect with their, like ancestors. That's all I do. Whoa, energy. It comes from somewhere. So if at all you are being enabled to get a job, it comes from somewhere where it was fashioned for someone else, and in order for that job to become yours, you have got to steal it. So even when you consult Dai Sangoma for the purpose of getting something so innocent as a job, you are actually stealing, because the devil has got to take that position from whoever it was rather set apart for. Let us go into the next part to continue.